Hi all, and welcome to the Penny Harvest Online Professional Development Training. Here are a couple of the goals for this brief training session. We want to teach our new coaches about Penny Harvest history, philosophy, and model. We also hope that our past coaches get the opportunity to reflect and build on past ideas. By the end of this training, we want all of our coaches to leave the session feeling prepared to implement the program and build on to existing practices to offer the best student experience possible. As a Penny Harvest coach, we always like to remind you guys that you are a facilitator first and foremost. We want to encourage your students to think critically about the work that they are doing. Debbie Marks emphasized this point by saying, "The coach should be the point person and help the students understand the importance of their work and why we do it." Notice how she stressed the importance of allowing the students to understand the importance of their work. Another part of being a coach is to make sure that you have good communication and a good relationship with school staff. Answer their questions and keep them informed. Their support is key to your success, and in the end it will contribute to make your experience easier and much more fulfilling. Here are some brief highlights on the Penny Harvest program. In the past 23 years of our existence, our students have raised over $10.6 million in pennies and given back all of that money to their local neighborhoods in the sum of 23,000 student grants. Students have also given back by dedicating over 47 million hours of service all across New York City. We are also well regarded in a lot of the schools we have worked with, as you can see by our 95% teacher satisfaction rating. On average, we have about 9,000 students step up and lead the program in their schools, and an average of 350,000 students who follow the examples set by their leaders by participating in the program each year. As some of you may know, the Penny Harvest is a year-long program broken down into 4 phases. The first phase is the Gather Pennies phase, which takes place between October and December. The second phase is the Roundtable phase, which takes place between January and April. The third phase is the Take Action phase, which takes place between March and June. And the fourth phase is the Build Legacy phase, which takes place between April and June. During the Gather Pennies phase, we encourage your students to go out in the community and within the school and try to gather as many pennies as they can. We would like them to rally to connect their. The second phase is the Roundtable phase. During this phase, these young philanthropists identify and prioritize community needs, conduct research, and visit local organizations, and make the tough decisions on how their funds can be best appropriated throughout their communities to make a difference. The third phase is the Take Action phase. The philosophy behind this phase is to encourage the students to think of how they can give back to the community through service as opposed to donating money. Each spring, students partner up with experienced community groups to learn more about the complex needs of the community and how to work together to meet them. Our fourth and final phase is the Build Legacy phase. At the end of the school year, the graduating students and parents help to ensure continuity. During this phase, the student leaders will pass their leadership role on to the students who will help lead the program the following year. As some of you may already know, most of our schools are actually Title I schools. Because of that, we are aware that not everyone will be able to collect a large sum of pennies. It is okay to start small. Pillars of the Penny Harvest consist of 4 elements that nurture each student and help provide a rewarding experience for everyone who participates. They're also a great way to start to implement the program and help build your program to become larger throughout the years. The 4 elements are whole school involvement, student leadership, local community-based partnership, and faculty leadership. We want to make sure that our students and faculty don't lose sight of the ultimate goal, which is to promote civic engagement and philanthropy in our youth. The first of these tools is the Penny Harvest Kit. In this kit, you will receive a curriculum and additional information about the Penny Harvest. You will also receive about 30 student leader pins to give out to your student leaders, as well as a roll of stickers that the students can use to decorate and help promote the Penny Harvest within the community. Last but not least, you'll also receive 15 canvas sacks to collect pennies in time for the pickup. You'll get more on that later. Another very useful tool is our website. On this page, you'll find many of the tools that you may need as you advance throughout the Penny Harvest phases, such as the curriculum, activities you can work on with your students, planning calendars, and letters to engage colleagues and parents. Another one of our important tools is the Organization Finder located in the middle of the page. Coaches and students alike can all use the Organization Finder to locate different organizations in their neighborhoods they may want to work with or learn more about. The most important resource you'll have throughout this phase is your school support. If you are yet to get in contact with them, check out our website and click on the Welcome Our New Fellows tab at the bottom of the page to get a brief introduction on them, and it also has their contact information. We would appreciate it if you could also take a quick second to check out and like our social media pages, which can be seen at the bottom left side of your screen. Alright, now for the time being we want to focus on the first phase of the program, which would take place between now and early to mid-December. Here's a brief timeline on what your penny harvest should look like for the next couple of months. Now we're on to step 1, recruiting a co-coach. If you already have one, that's great. If not, we highly recommend that each of our coaches try to get one. If you're a classroom teacher, you may want to think of selecting someone who isn't. That way you can receive help during times where the classroom might be keeping you too busy to actively participate in the penny harvest. It is also a good way to build connection within the school, and it helps keep the students engaged in the penny harvest even when they're not in the classroom. Here are some things to consider before selecting a co-coach. Identify qualities and skills that complement your own. You want to be sure you have someone you can work with. List areas or activities in which you could use support. If there are ever certain activities which you have trouble conducting, you can perhaps recruit another one of your fellow teachers that has a higher expertise field. Most importantly, you want to be able to ensure that whoever you recruit as a co-coach understands the importance of your work and why the school has decided to participate in the program as a Step 2 is to build a team of supporters. Remember that on our website we have letter templates that our coaches can distribute to parents and faculty as a way to get them involved in the penny harvest. To keep faculty involved, you want to have school announcements, assemblies, or even post information on a bulletin board which is easily accessible to the school community. You want to make sure that they are constantly informed about key dates and other relevant penny harvest information. Make sure that your fellow teachers complete the Wheel of Caring activity in their classroom and utilize Curriculum Connections for relevant coursework. In order to engage the parents, you can invite them to participate in the harvest. Perhaps they can host a bake sale or some sort of fundraising event for the school. A great time to do this would be during an open house. Step 3 is recruiting your student leaders. Student leaders are a group of students from multiple grades selected to collaborate with the penny harvest coach and lead the penny harvest all year. Feel free to use your own discretion on how to recruit your students, but these are a couple of ideas that we share on how to do that. You can self-select, have the teachers recommend the students, or have each student write a small paragraph or essay describing why they feel giving back is important and why they would want to have a leadership role in the penny harvest. As far as who to recruit, we recommend that each school get about 10 to 15 student leaders, but we want to make sure that the group is diverse. We do not want our coaches to simply select the same 5 students who participate for everything. You want your student leadership group to be representative of the entire student body and help give everyone a voice. You also want to make sure that some of your student leaders top 2 grades within the school. The older student leaders can serve as mentors to the younger students and help prepare them to lead the program the following year. Step 4 is preparing your student leaders. Once you have selected your student leaders, you want to prepare them for the upcoming events and inform them of their responsibilities as a leader. As a coach, you want to be sure that you and your leaders are ready to inform and motivate classmates throughout the Gather Pennies and Roundtable phases. You want to be sure that your school has promoted and advertised the penny harvest throughout the school and the local community in order to get as many people involved as possible. You should also be ready to oversee the collection, weigh-in, and consolidation of coins in time for the penny pickup. As I mentioned earlier, you want to be sure that your leaders are ready to represent their fellow classmates as decision makers during the roundtable phase. As you prepare for the kickoff, make sure that your leaders are aware of why they are harvesting pennies and try to get them to set a goal for the entire school. One way to do this is by having teachers complete the Wheel of Caring lesson plan. Here's an example of the Wheel of Caring. How you conduct this activity is up to your discretion. The idea is to get the students to think about issues that they care about and to set a goal for how many sacks of pennies they would like to raise and donate to help combat that issue. Once the students reach a consensus, they would write that information on a piece of paper and keep it somewhere visible in the classroom where they can refer back to it and be reminded of the importance of their work. Step 5 is the Penny Harvest Kickoff. By this time, you should have had your students complete the Wheel of Caring activity. The goal for this phase is to officially launch the Penny Harvest in your school and to unite and excite the entire school. You want to be sure that you have a start and end date in mind for the Penny Harvest. You also want to be able to provide everyone with ideas on how to gather pennies and be sure to share the goal that you and your student leaders have set for the entire school. Most importantly, remember to remind the students the importance of their work and get them to think about the positive impact that they will have on the entire community through their participation in the Penny Harvest program. Step 6. Everyone harvest pennies. Once the Penny Harvest has started, you want to think of creative ways to keep the momentum going. A couple of examples would be to provide the school with weekly updates, have classroom weigh-ins, or provide incentives for your students, such as a movie day or a school trip if possible. You want to be sure to promote a friendly yet competitive atmosphere within the school. One way to keep the momentum going to your school is to have a Penny Olympics. The Penny Olympics is a friendly competition amongst the student body through which they are able to keep track of how much money each class has raised. We have noticed that this brings out the competitive spirit not only in the children, but in the teachers as well. A couple of other ways to keep the momentum going is by having the students decorate the doors with Penny Harvest themed items, encourage them to harvest throughout the neighborhood, or you can also have them check weekly progress and tally the harvest rates for each team. One idea which we recommend to all of our schools is to set up a table during open houses, parent-teacher conferences, or other days in which the school may be closed, such as the November 4th election days coming up real soon, hint hint. Another great idea would be to have a penny prince and a penny princess. This is a great way to engage classroom teachers. Either awarded weekly or at the end of the harvest, the classroom to bring in the most pennies wins the crown for their teacher to wear for an entire day. This idea was actually brought to us in 2006 by the student leaders of PS 232 and has spread throughout the Penny Harvest community ever since. Step 7 is to finish strong. At this point, you want to ensure that you are ready for the penny pickup. You want to plan a tally rally, which is a school-wide celebration in which you can announce your school totals, recognize outstanding classrooms and students, and introduce the upcoming roundtable phase. Please be sure to plan ahead how to organize and track your penny harvest. Common sense calculates collection totals based solely on receipt when the pickup is provided. Using TD Bank will yield an exact count. In front of you are the 4 different methods of penny pickup from least accurate method all the way on the left to the most accurate all the way on the right. If you choose to estimate using the lines in the canvas sacks, you will receive the least accurate count of how many pennies you were able to collect. If you choose to weigh the mixed coins, that is also not incredibly accurate. Sorting and weighing each denomination is much more accurate because a pound of quarters is certainly worth much more than a pound of pennies. If the coins are separated, this will be a much more accurate reflection of how much your school was able to raise. Our 4th method would be to take your pennies to TD Bank. Since we have an account with TD Bank, we'll convert your pennies and give you an exact count free of charge. You want to be sure to keep a receipt and send Common Sense a copy of it so that we know how much money should be appropriated to your school. Please keep in mind that no pickup will be provided for this method, as you will be taking your pennies to TD Bank progressively throughout the harvest. Many of our coaches have informed us that this method is incredibly helpful. Last but not least, there are a couple of pickup guidelines that we ask our schools to abide by in order to ensure an easy pickup process. First, we ask that you consolidate all penny harvest sacks and secure them with the zip ties provided in your penny harvest kit. All cash and checks must be kept in a separate envelope with the school's name printed in the front. Cash or checks left in the sacks will not be counted. The penny harvest coach or designated staff member is responsible for accurately reporting the coin and dollar amount on the penny harvest pickup receipt. Again, Common Sense will calculate the harvest total for each individual school based on the pickup receipt provided to us. Well, congratulations, you've made it through the training. That is all of the information I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact the Penny Harvest office. You can all find our contact information on our website. I hope this was helpful to all of you. Now go out there and harvest some pennies. Oh, but before you go, here's one more thing to keep in mind. It all starts with a penny. Thanks for listening. I wish all of you the best of luck, and I look forward to an exciting and prosperous penny harvest year.